Hello ladies and gents, and welcome to week 3 of our fabulous English 235 class. It was great to get to see your guys' writing in the definitions assignment. I'll be grading that early this week, hopefully have that back to you by Wednesday. Also, great to see how you made changes in the diagnostic revision exercise. Really encouraging to see how you took that original worksheet, found a couple places where there was room for improvement, and then really did a fabulous job correcting those errors and then creating your own mirror sentences. That's not an easy thing to do, and you did a fantastic job of it. So kudos to you, pats on the back, round of applause, all that good stuff. Really a reflection of time and investment that you guys did. So excellent work. This week, we are working on writing an abstract and a newsletter. It's another one of those two-part assignments. The definitions assignment had you write listing definitions, those 3-part definitions, and also a paragraph of definition. This is another 2-part assignment where you're going to write a very short abstract, and then you're going to write a slightly longer piece of writing for a newsletter as a hypothetical outlet for this information. You never know who's going to get tapped to write for a newsletter in a business. You might have a good idea, you might have a conversation around the coffee pot and someone's like, ooh, I like that idea. Will you write it up for the newsletter? And you're like, well, I guess so. So you're going to have some practice so that in case you ever do get tapped for that sort of thing, you already got all the skills you need. As always, all of our assignments have everything you need in the prompt and then also in the modules tab. So for our abstract and newsletter assignment, I also have another one of those web pages that kind of helps break things down for us. So the first couple pages talk about informative abstracts. And I've got it color-coded for us so we can kind of see how the ideas come together. In this case, the black text is the topic of the study, green is methods of research, blue is results, and red is conclusions. They're taking an article or a study or a research project, and they're boiling that huge project down into just a few words. Typically, abstracts are about 100 words long. And oftentimes they're a much shorter version of a much longer document. If you're working in the CBC library databases and you found an article, the article might be 40, 50 pages long, and it will have an abstract that's less than 100 words that summarizes the primary ideas of that 40-page article. So it's really good to be able to take something big and make it something small without losing any of the essential pieces. That's what we're going to be practicing in the abstract. I'm not going to make you read a 40-page document. The document you have to read is 1 page, and you're going to be condensing it down to 100 words. So here's some help to walk you through that process. As you take a look at the abstracts, we get some practice, all that good stuff here on the website. So for the first part, you're going to be reading this article called Eyeing Myopia. It's a 1-page article. It talks about how our eyes are changing based on how we use them. So 100 years ago, our eyes were shaped slightly differently. That gave us more peripheral vision because we needed to use that more because we were outside more. We were working in environments where that peripheral vision was more important. Now, many of us spend a lot of time focused just in front of us, like on a computer screen, as I am doing now and as you are doing as you're watching this. And so our eyes changed shape a little bit, so we lost some of the peripheral vision and we got more focused in that frontal vision. And so this Eyeing Myopia did a really interesting experiment with baby chickens where they obscured parts of the vision using, like, it was adorable, like little glasses that they they put on the chicks. And then they studied how the eye shape changed based on how the chicks were using them and what parts of the vision were obstructed. Really interesting, kind of cool stuff. 1 page long. You're going to boil that down into 100 words, and here's kind of an outline for it. Don't go over 100 words. I know it's really hard, but like stay under 100 words. Shoot really for like right at 100 words. 95 to 100 is the sweet spot here. Then you're going to be writing an article for a newsletter in this like hypothetical situation where you're going to pretend you're working for a software development company. You're going to read this article, Workplace Differences, Often Just a Matter of Style. And this is really interesting because it kind of delves into how we communicate with people and how we best receive information. And then it kind of says how that's going to apply in the workplace. So you're going to read this article. You're going to pick the pieces that you think are most interesting or most important for this hypothetical situation of working in a software development company. Then you're going to write an article as if you were working in the software development company and you were writing an article for your company newsletter. You're going to share the ideas from the article that you think are most important, most interesting, most applicable. And we're going to want to make sure that we're citing those authors within the article itself. We want to shoot for less than 250 words here. So you've got some strong parameters to help you there. We also have a lot of resources in the modules tab. So if you scroll down, we just finished writing definitions. Here is our folder for abstract and newsletters. Here's the recorded lecture. It's going to help you a lot. Please watch it. I will walk you through the process step by step. I kid you not. Like, I will show you how to do all the pieces. So watch that. In this recorded lecture, I talk about an article that's called Is Google Making Us Stupid? If you want to practice creating your own abstract, you can use that article as a practice opportunity. It's not worth points, but if you wanted to get some practice, that's one of your resources, and I do talk about it in the recorded lecture. Really interesting article that talks about how our brains process information differently and at different speeds now because we receive it in such smaller pieces than like when we used to have to go to a library and get a physical copy of a book and then read the whole book in order to get our question answered instead of typing into Google, what color are snails that live in the tropical Amazon region? You know, like, that's easy to do in Google. You used to not be able to do that. So it talks about how our brains process information differently. Here's the prompt itself. Here's the recorded lecture on newsletter articles, so make sure to check that out as well. Here's the article linked here. It's also linked in the prompt. And here are some sample newsletters. You can choose to design your article as if it was a newsletter with visuals. Absolutely, if you want to have that creative outlet, go for it. You don't have to, but it's just one way that you can kind of practice writing in this genre. And here's a couple examples of what that might look like. So lots of good stuff coming our way this week. We've got some readings from our Markle text that will help us as we work on the abstract and newsletters. But really what you're going to need is the stuff that's in the modules tab and the stuff that is in the assignment prompt itself. Clear as mud, hopefully clear as crystal. Awesome. As always, if you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help.